It's Mr. Harkwave coming to you live on Twitch, and we have the anti-top 10 list. That's right, that was clickbait. I apologize, but what we have today is true advice, what you actually need to get ahead, because power creep is real, bottlenecks are everywhere, the metagame moves too fast unless you got a lot of cash. And I have a friend with me today. I have a very special guest that I brought to my program to help me get to the truth. Mr. Tony Scungili, say hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody's. What's going on?
Excellent, excellent. So we're looking at a list right over here. This is a list of the top 10 characters for April. Can you tell me, what would you tell me if I told you to only focus on these characters behind us right now, right over here above you? Is that good advice?
For me? Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice because those are actually the 10 characters I've been working on recently. There is a slight difference, though, in that I'm a 3-year veteran of the game and I have enough resources and time and income within the confines of the game to start working on these characters. Like, I can stay on top of what's going on relatively easily. Some players, they're not going to have as easy a time trying to chase what the new thing is, because we're talking about this today. What's next month going to look like? You know, what
that's a good point,
new characters, what hypothetically heroes for hire characters are going to come out and make the remaining defenders good? Is Shang-Chi and Colleen Wing going to come out and do something? We don't know. So it's really hard to determine if what's happening right now is good right now or is a good investment for like a Black Order period, like a year plus of time. And that's something that when you look at a list like this, it's kind of hard to determine.
Yeah, but yet this is a very popular video. I mean, it's been going on now for years. I think since the game has been started, the content creator comes out, pulls up the newest 10 characters that were added to the game, tells you these are the best characters and work them. Why are they doing that?
Well, I think that there's a lot of people you can't be a content creator for everybody. It takes too much effort and time and work. So you have to kind of figure out what part of the content or what part of the community that's with you. So the people who've been following me, for example, for the last 3 years or so have been kind of growing with me, but newer players are coming in and seeing things I do. And I have to be very clear to say, hey, just so you know, there's a reason why I tier forward everything on Silver Surfer the second I unlocked him, but my Moon Knight is not unlocked. Like, please understand there's a reason that I'm doing it. And you might find a little bit more value doing the reverse. You know, like, you might get more for the team than you would for an individual character, depending on where you are.
Yeah, I agree with that move, by the way. I think that was really, really smart to go all in on Silver Surfer and hold on Moon Knight. So that leads me into my next question. How do you actually get ahead? Because it sounds like you got ahead. You're ahead of me. I think you have a better Silver Surfer than me, even though I have more potential, maybe. I don't know. How many reds did you pull in Silver?
4.
Awesome.
I opened 6 orbs, 6 regular red star orbs, and 1 Elite 4. So
what's the strategy? How do you get ahead? Why did you skip Moon Knight and work on Silver Surfer?
So I don't necessarily. I think I was already ahead, like just in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like because I've had so much time and I have a bank of resources that some people don't. But I think one thing is, I come from a type of gameplay, more of a ARPG, you know, looter shooter type of game, even World of Warcraft, where to me it's more important to put as much as I can in the best stuff and as little as I can in the questionable stuff. I min-max, for lack of a better word.
Yes, sir.
And in this game, it's hard to it's hard to be the best at everything. It's players know that every patch there's 3 to 4 new characters that come out. Patches last about a month and a half usually. You know, you average about 2.5 characters a month, right? Because that's just how the patches kind of break down. Yep. And that's a lot of new characters. And if you can't keep up with the investment, not just the gear, but the stars and the red stars, then you're going to constantly be chasing a metagame that can't happen, that you can't reach.
Yeah.
And eventually if you guess wrong, one wrong guess, and you're screwed. If you thought Skilletary was worth your time, you might have gotten burned. And now they're reworking them, so accidentally you might have gotten rewarded. But
Look, like, that didn't happen to people that built Wakanda back in the day.
Yeah, honestly, I think patience is a key.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I pulled this up over here. I think my biggest video still is where I tell people to hold gold. If you see now, it's really tiny on there, but it's at 189 now. So yeah, patience is definitely something we understand on my channel. And I'm still holding that because I don't know. And when you hold a resource like that, it can go up. Whereas if I open that and turn it into gold or put it into character, even worse, put it into characters, I've lost all the potential that it could have. If they buff the orb, if I invested in a character and that character falls out of the meta. Talk to us about hoarding. Do you hoard resources?
What's the opposite of fear of missing out? What's the opposite of FOMO?
No fear at all. You're like Daredevil. Are you Daredevil, sir? Yeah. It's Matt Murdock.
What's the opposite? So hoarding is weird. Like in general, I am a hoarder because one of the things you mentioned, if it could get better in the future.
Yeah.
Now it could not.
It's always evolving. Like I think a lot of people don't get that with the hoarder strategy. Is they're like, you're going to hurt your roster. You're going to do something wrong. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because as soon as it makes sense to open, I'm opening. It's like, it's constantly, every time something happens, every time I get a blog post, I'm reading it. And that's what I'm reading it for. And that's why I don't go on and read blog posts like verbatim. Because I just skim them. I'm like, where's the relevant information? Oh, got to hold those. Oh, time to open those. I'm always looking for that.
So look at your screen right now.
Yeah.
You have your purple gear and your orange gear orbs, right? So the difference between you and me, I could see immediately is those purple orbs, I crack those open almost on cooldown, right? Like I crack those open on cooldown because in general, I think that we're getting to the point, or we should be getting to the point, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that like purple gear is no longer a bottleneck.
Yeah, I agree.
But
that's why I don't open them, Tony. I have no need for them.
The other way around?
I have no need for them. So why open them? They buff the blue orb. They're going to buff the purple orb at some point, and then I'll have all I need for life. And I don't need it right now. So hold.
Which is fair. I'm never going to tell you to spend. I don't like to tell people how to spend their resources in general.
No, I mean, I absolutely could. I get your point. I could absolutely open them, and it probably would never hurt me. But I don't need it at all. I don't need it at all. I'm not using it. I'm not hurting. I don't need it at all.
But that's the issue, right? That's what we're talking about. Like I still need them.
Okay.
All the time.
Then you gotta open.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think people, when they hear hoarding, they think like, I'm not opening anything. My roster's getting weaker. Listen, guys.
I get that in my comments a lot.
I have 300. All my teams are 300K.
Yeah.
And by teams, I mean teams, not like hand. All my teams are 300K. All my teams are 300K because I have a rule. When I unlock a character, I get them to level 60, gear tier 10, 6664. That's what I do with every single character I unlock. If I can't do that to the character, I don't unlock them because there's no reason to waste resources on a character that can't get to what I consider to be a usable point at my stage in the game. So all of my roster is minimum 300K. And that's not something that I did in a day because I spent money. That's something that happened over time. So now, the Blitz purple gear orbs, those things, I just collect them. And then guess what? We're getting 2 new mutants, right? Cool. I have 40 of those Blitz orbs. Yep. I'm going to crack them open for mutants the second I unlock the characters, not before.
There you go.
Because if I crack it open before and something happens and they change, I hurt myself.
So I think what I'm hearing here, and I'm sorry if I cut you off. What I'm hearing here is that it's not just hoarding to hoard or hoarding what someone tells me to hoard. It's intelligent hoarding, specifically to your account for the circumstance that you're in.
Yeah, sure. That's a fine way of looking at it. It's a little bit more of, if you're not currently working on something, what's in the orb is going to be in the orb next time. You know, like what's in your gold orb, if you don't need, if we all got 100 million gold right now, how fast could you spend 100 million gold?
I would spend it a
Almost
million a day.
immediately.
I would spend it a million a day, Tony.
Well, that's for the economy, but like in theory, how fast could you spend 100 million gold in this game? Like immediately?
Well, I'm now, like you said, my advice will not apply to everybody. I'm up here. I think I might be a bit higher. I think I'm definitely higher in TCP. But I actually have a problem that I can't spend that much gold. I almost ran out of stuff to actually spend on during the Emma event. The last Emma event, I had to start making stuff up. And without like getting into trash. I don't want to invest in trash garbage.
That's where you convert cores into store refreshes and start buying stuff in the store.
That is exactly where I was at. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. This is two whales talking. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, you just spend your cores to refresh the store and spend your gold there. Duh.
I'm a whale in terms of...
Spend more money.
Well, I want to take exception to that. I'm a whale in terms of in-game currency and inventory from careful hoarding over 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
My actual spending is around between 20 and 60 a month, max. And that's like in like...
Was that always like that?
Always.
Really?
Always. Never have really gone out further than that. 20 to 60 a month. And that is...
All right, I'm impressed.
Just very little. I started last couple of weeks of beta. So I've been there from the very start.
And you played longer than I have.
And I've been very aggressive with moving up in alliances. I did not tolerate... I mean, and that's one of the biggest... Besides this top 10 bullshit, get in a good alliance and get in it fast. A lot of people are coming to me and they're like, Heartgrave, I want to get better. I want to get better. Help me. And I'm like, what alliance are you in? My alliance, they don't buy attacks and they don't finish raids. I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing? You obviously are seeking out a higher level of the game. Stop talking to me. Yeah, move on. Go get a good alliance. It's not hard. You will find people who are like-minded and you will progress so much faster. 100%.
I mean, to be fair, there are some criticisms of alliances in this game in general, like the fact that we can't help each other, the fact that a newer player can't jump into a stronger alliance to be carried in any way that's meaningful. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that, like, other games do a little bit better as far as alliance and helping newer players and players grow with the thing. And it's just hard to manage alliances. That's true. This game is not very kind at that. But at the same time, like... I did a small video series about my 250k X-Men.
Yeah. I watched a bit of that. Yeah, it's awesome.
I just started releasing videos of like, hey, my 250k X-Men autoing this U7.5 node. This is before, obviously, Doom Raid. But like, I was just like,
they do pretty good on the Doom Raid. I actually have a video of my 350, so just a little bit higher, one-shotting a Doom Raid node.
Oh yeah, my 300k team can beat it without auto. Like I have to do it.
You got to do it, but it's a really good team.
That's the point. My symbiotes are 500k. I went super hard on them, and they can't auto as reliably, but they're good. But they can't auto, but they're good.
And that investment's going to decay, so you got to watch out for that. Yeah, they were.
We don't know that, and the reason we don't know that is because specifically, everything.
I don't trust Scopely at all. To not ruin that team within about 4 to 6 months.
Well, it's the same thing. I have a concept that I talk about a lot called Evergreen. There are characters that are evergreen. There are characters that are very good at what they do so that they will never be absolutely useless. An example of those characters is like Thanos.
Yeah. No, he's been around for a while.
Thanos,
I think I got one
Thanos
right here.
was good before. Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is actually a little bit closer to one that can get outscaled. When I see Silver Surfer, I can tell you honestly, what I see is Captain Marvel 2.0.
Yeah, no,
now,
I hear
for
that.
People who haven't been
she
playing
lasted
the game,
a long time. She lasted longer than her release. Like would
and
indicate.
To be fair, don't sleep on her now.
No. When I saw that they were putting a costume out for her, I said, yeah, that they might make her better. I don't think they're going to put a costume on somebody that is out of the meta.
Well, even to this day, man, tell me you don't see 100k Captain Marvel on War.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Right,
things get scary.
Hold on a second. let's address this.
Now,
So like when Captain Marvel came
I'm
out, she
curious.
changed it.
When you're talking about Evergreen, this actually directly contradicts another video that kind of got me riled up and kind of got us here to begin with. Are we talking about Mr. Sinister?
What about Mr. Sinister?
Is he
I
Evergreen?
think he's an Evergreen character.
Some people would argue with you.
Some people think that Sinister is losing value.
Yeah, because of his speed. They say he's too slow.
But he's always been that slow.
Yeah. No, I don't agree at all. I think he's Evergreen 100%.
So the problem is it doesn't matter how slow Sinister is right
doesn't.
now. Now, in theory,
It
something can
doesn't.
change.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how slow he is right now because what he represents is the best opponent character. Now, there might be a
Exactly.
specific part of the meta where Sinister's losing a little bit of value, but that's one corner.
He'll always
You
be
do have to look
creeping
at
around. And what I love about a character like Mr. Sinister is at any point the developers can forget that he kind of exists
and
and open the door to something nasty.
Yeah, like
So,
I don't
he's
think
fun.
Sinister
He's
is
fun.
nearly as impactful as he was.
He's
when
gonna
he came out, but I
pop
think
up.
it's
He's
silly to
gonna
think
pop up at the end of the year in just some nasty meta team. Some mixed meta, just disgusting.
every single person who one shot Dark Dimension
Yeah, that kind of
for
situation. Yeah,
every single person had at the first pass did it with two characters, Mr. Sinister and Ghost.
yeah. You're not
The
gonna.
other two characters have been like, there's a Cap and Widow, or you know, like other Ant-Man and what's her name. Like, that Mr. Sinister might not be arena meta, and that's something I think bugs me more than anything else. People discuss the arena meta of the game
Yeah.
as if it's the game.
Yeah, it is not.
And like, it's not even a third of the game. I've been beating the Black Order for months without the Black Order, but my defense isn't holding because guess what my defense is? It's the Black Order.
There you go.
The Black Order.
That's actually really interesting. It brings me to a point about, and we kind of skipped over. I want to get back to it. When to push all in? Because it sounds like you're an all-in player. So you skip Moon Knight. You pushed all in on Silver Surfer. You're like, here's a character with the Silver Surfer that's going to be good in arena, raids, real-time arena, just about everything. Make a great blitz team, war, whatever you want. Silver Surfer's going to add to it for at least probably the end of the year. I don't think they're going to move him out until the end of the year. I think he's good to go.
How good's Emma?
Still hanging out. I took her into Dark Dimension.
For the record, Emma's been around for about 8 months now.
Yep.
So
I use her in the arena to beat Doom. Because here's a good Evergreen character, right? I was talking about this the other day. When you look at Emma, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's
I think
that
Emma's
speed.
the best character in the game.
It's the damn speed. I mean, in a turn-based game, you have a character that can manipulate speed in such a way that no one else really can. Yeah. It's a flat minus 10% speed to all enemies. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like, the higher speed you have, the more it hits you for. You know, like 136? No, you're now 123.
This is how you get around a character with ramped up speed like Silver Surfer or something. This is how you slow down Doom enough so that you can kill him before he goes. And it's going to be that way for it's flat. It doesn't stop. I don't even have to use it. It just happens. It's not like some characters where it's like, you spawn and you give everybody a speed down and then they can clear that. That's just there.
I'd like to bring something else into account too while we're talking about it. Can you bring up Yo-Yo real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting.
Yeah, for a very long time, I've had the opinion that Yo-Yo is the best protector in the game. Specifically that class. Like, she's the best of her class. And then new protectors came out, and I was like, yeah, no, they're good. Yo-Yo's the best protector in the game. And then Doc Ock came out, and they're like, oh, Tony, Doc Ock prevents Yo-Yo from sticking offense down. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, yeah, a legendary character to counter Yo-Yo, the best protector in the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool.
There's a reason.
Doc Ock in
there's
every
a reason,
node?
There's a reason why they locked her behind the premium orb and didn't put her out.
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Doesn't matter.
What am I looking at here?
Oh, I just wanted to bring her up to say, when she came out, it was like, oh, we got to invest in Yo-Yo. Yep. Like, she's insane. Like, get her.
I slept on her, and it hurt me.
Yeah, like, no, she's insane. Like, buy her, whatever. It doesn't matter. Get her. Like, because what she does is guarantee, at a specific level, obviously, blah, 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 blah. What she does is guarantee that your entire team is taking 50% less damage the entire fight.
And that is on her passive, right?
Yep, that's her level 5.
If she has no other protector,
so 4.
She applies offense down to that enemy on the enemy turn, and it cannot be dodged.
Yeah, cannot be dodged. Awesome. It happens. It can be resisted, but honestly, Yo-Yo doesn't have as bad a focus as people might think inherently.
You just resurrected Yo-Yo for me. You know, I was like, I'm done with Yo-Yo. That's over.
Well, so here's the thing. People are using like 60k yo-yos against like 100
she's got to be up.
Average power of a Black Order team, and they're like, she's not doing it. Like, don't do that. That's bad. But
I can't
in raids.
Where can I use her on? I'm not going to use her on the Doom raid.
Why not?
Symbiotes.
You're using all the symbiotes?
Yes.
What's Venom doing for you?
Who? Venom?
What's Venom doing?
Oh, he's trash garbage.
Yeah, so put Yo-Yo on.
Is that what you do, sir?
At least.
Interesting.
I mean, you got Anti-Venom is going to res anyone who dies that matters. Scream's going to die no matter what you do, but she does what Venom does. Just a little bit better.
I love the way you think, sir. Because if you check out my videos, a lot of my more controversial videos are these mixed meta videos where I take characters and I put them together, and people go, "What the hell are you doing? You're breaking up the team." And Yo-Yo goes on Inhumans, but Yo-Yo
you don't break up teams for war. Don't break up war teams, guys.
I break up war teams.
I don't like that. Like, I do like it. I do like it from like an offense perspective.
That's what it is.
Because like
it's an offense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For offense is fine because like we have too many options now. It's like, hey, how many teams can I beat with these 5? Everyone? Yeah. All right, let's make a better team with Zemo then. Right?
Exactly.
Like, how do we use Zemo to beat the Black Order? Like, that's a question that I'm like, all right, we'll just put Red Skull and Hela on it.
I'm using Zemo to beat Doom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Works great. Zemo and Emma. And then you can combine, I got a video on it too, but Zemo and Emma, and then a lot of other stuff you can use. But they're like kind of the core. Slow them down, ability block, huge damage.
For the record, in U7.5 pre-symbiotes, and the team I still use if I'm I want to have fun, is Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, Emma, Shuri, and then whoever I want.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Usually
it's
Hela,
solid,
but that's just because Turn Rewind is awesome. But like, it's the last character. Now it could be Silver Surfer. Like, it doesn't matter who that last character is because Yo-Yo is guaranteeing I'm getting half damage. Shuri is guaranteeing my team has defense up the entire time. And if someone takes a nasty hit, they'll get some deflex. Emma's making sure I'm faster than them and controls the amount of abilities I have. And the last character could be whatever you happen to need, except Thanos, unfortunately. So that's a team that I used in U7.5, like pre-symbiotes. And I was like, yeah, this team's great. Like, walk through it. The problem is it's not good in Doom Raid because Doom Raid's like, hey, use all these characters together. So, but I think like Venom, I like Venom. I think Venom's a great character. But I think, like, first of all, Yo-Yo, every time your opponent takes a turn, Symbiote Spider-Man's going to heal everybody for 3%, except her.
Yeah. You gotta be
like, that counts. And then on top of it, you're not getting any extra value out of her for that team, but you're clearing deflex. You're getting a couple of extra attacks. Putting Raider on her would help set up for stuff. You might have to be a little bit cuter. Like Carnage might have to be a healer.
You know what? I wouldn't use Yo-Yo in a no heal raid. That's for damn sure. Are you running those?
Oh, the 3s? Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal.
That's easy, though.
Brutal.
No, not really.
No? You're using Yo-Yo and symbiotes on a no-heal raid.
Like what? Well, which raid? Like just the pure bio raid?
Yeah,
I don't need to. My symbiotes are 500k. They can
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's like I don't need to. But then again, I don't know that it's not. For a while, I had Carnage at healer because Carnage is so fast and has so much health that he would just throw heals onto whoever the last character on the team was.
That's actually very valid, getting around that issue with ISO, because then you can put a 5th on symbiotes. As long as you have healer on one of the symbiotes, they're going to take so many turns. That character is going to be...
They're always going to be full.
Okay.
So the last character goes in. But then
I
again,
love it,
you
man.
also have to remember
It's awesome.
that's wasting ISOs. Like you're now putting 2 stages of high invest or ions specifically, not ISOs.
True.
But like the ions, because now you're putting 2 stages of
All right.
investment in the same character.
So here's what I think it comes down to when we're talking about weird stuff like this. And it's a point I want to get to. And that is, when do you go all in on a character? And we were talking about that. And I think a lot of it has to do with high red stars. Do you let high red stars guide you?
No.
No, you ignore that.
No.
So if
I have a
even
7 red star Yelena. She's 3 stars.
Okay, well that makes sense to me though. You don't have the yellow stars on her.
But no, I pulled immediately a 7 red star Yelena and was like, oh cool, and then didn't buy an offer.
No, I don't think I would have
like.
either.
I allow my red stars. The one rule I have is red stars don't make bad characters good. They don't make good characters great, and they don't make great characters excellent. They just make them stronger. That's all.
Okay.
Now, there are certain characters that require red stars to accomplish whatever the task. One of the ones that comes to my mind all the time is Crystal. I see a lot of times someone with a 6 or 7 red star Crystal using her and saying like, this character is great. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't have a 6 or 7 red star, there's quite literally no investment you can put into her to get that difference. Like she's just not worth it. Like a 4-star Crystal, leave her wherever she is. Gear tier 10, 12, whatever, she's fine. But a high red star, these characters kind of like, they become a little bit more worthwhile. If I pulled a high red star on Ghost, or on Stature, I might consider working on those characters just because of how they work with their team.
Okay.
Look at, can you bring up the Astonishing X-Men again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So my entire team except Bishop is 3 red. They're all, I'm sorry, my entire team except Bishop is 5 red. Bishop's 3.
Okay.
So like,
I think I might actually have the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So like Bishop is the only character on that team that like he's different if you don't have reds.
Yes, he is.
Like. Yeah, he's very like if you don't have 5 or 6 red stars, which of course includes the stars on the character for this conversation, you don't want to do it. Like he's one
that I highly consider buying more red stars on. I do have the currency and I'm holding it, waiting for
I think it's worth
it to come out. Well, by the time you see, this is why it is hoarding. I'm hoarding that currency too, because by the time I get his yellow stars up to 5, will he still be worth it? That'll be a conversation I'll have to have with myself at that time. He'd be worth it. We don't know now, but I don't have it now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
matter.
But
every investment you ever spend is for now.
Exactly.
That's the point. Yeah. So if you're hoarding right now, it's because there's nothing you need to spend on right now.
There you go.
Theoretically, there's an infinite number of things you can, but that doesn't matter.
Yes. So yeah, that's the follow up to, do you go all in on characters? When do you stop building up a team?
The second they can do what I need them to do.
Awesome.
Period. Yeah. End of conversation.
Same. And if I go over, I regret
it. Depends on how much over. I have a 370k X-Force team. They are all, gear tier 12. Some of them, I think 1 or 2 are gear tier a little bit higher. They're all whatever red stars they got. I'm not buying any more on them.
Yep.
They have whatever tier 4s I found was necessary. They're 370k. Guess what? When I go into a war, there are teams that I'm like, I'm going to beat that guy. How much? Doesn't matter. I'm going to beat that guy. So that's the team I need. Now, some people want to be the superhero. They want to be like, my team is 400K and they can beat 700K versions. Congratulations. That's awesome. And I have no problem. But there's a cost to that.
Oh, yeah.
And I want people
I'm actually paying the price for it right here. This is nuts. Not needed. And it's not even that useful. It's out of the meta. It's gone downhill. This is depreciating.
To be 100% fair, I only have 2 problems with what you did. And I think you know which 2 they are. Like, why does Deadpool have anything in him? And how is Domino? Domino's job is to not die for like 30 seconds. Like that's her entire just 30 seconds don't die, Domino. Then you could die and no one cares. Let X-23 get her ability.
It was the thing at the time. I got carried. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think it was right after I beat Dark Dimension 3 for the first time.
Oh, word.
And I was like, I need it right now. But I did it too much. And it's not holding its value as well as any other team if I would have put those resources in or held them. I wish I would have these mutant resources right now so much.
Of course, but
who could tell the future?
That's the lesson. Like, you're showcasing a 500K version of a team, and I'm sitting here. And again, we might be doing different things.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're fighting that you need a 500K X-Force team for.
Most wars, it's massive overkill.
Yeah. And honestly, I think there are some, I call it breakpoints in my videos.
Yeah.
I think that there are breakpoints. I think that there is a team with the right tier 4s, the right investment. That's what they do. I use the Black Order as the best example. A 400K Black Order can be a 600K Black Order.
Yeah.
That, like, period. So the only reason to have a 600K Black Order is to punish people who have under 400K Black Orders. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing.
I have the misfortune of being in a beta shard.
Yeah, you have to do that.
I don't know if you know the hell of beta shard. If no one knows what I'm talking about, but in the arena we have different shards. Since I started before the game actually launched, so I'm in with some pretty heavy players. Legion of Cabal, used to be Cabal, Pants of Hulk, all the top guys are in my shard, and it's all just nuts in there. So when an arena team establishes itself like the Black Order for a year, I got to play ball with them. Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. Now, and again, I skipped them and accepted the fate. And that's something that's very important. Yep. And I don't think people know when I say that. Like, I was just like, I understand. Yep. I have 2 eyes. I could read. I know they're good. I'm just going to eat, for lack of a better word, I'm going to eat shit for a year, and then we'll figure something else out.
Yep.
Like,
well, you said you beat them.
I went from top 10, top 20 member of my 20 something like that forever, to 200, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not going to log in and snipe a time, and I don't care. Like, I'll pay money for cores. Oopsie. But now you can't work on the Black Order. Like, it's insane if you're doing if you just got Maw this pass and you're like, let's go gold gear and stuff. Like, no, get them to 400K and then be like, the moon is setting on them. Like, they did great.
My plan up until I had no idea Silver Surfer was just going to drop for $20 on us. And I had even less idea that I was going to pull 6 red on him. So my initial plan was to take Corvus Glaive and Maw into Dark Dimension 4. Instantly scrapped that plan like last night. Done. Not doing it. Over. Do something else. I'll figure something else out. Not doing that. Like,
Surfer's taking over Thanos' spot.
Yeah.
In Dark Dimension 4. I was like,
that's exactly what
Thanos is cheap and a good investment. And I don't care. Because I'm not going to not invest in Hela because she's awesome and so is Greg. But I'm not going to not invest in...
That's interesting. You're still going to go for Hela?
Do I have to read Greg out?
No, I understand Greg. I'm
kidding.
She's extremely expensive, and I don't know.
She's worth it.
This is an evergreen character.
Maseratis are expensive. Like,
I think this goes beyond the character's kit, sir. All right. Tell me why Hela is an evergreen character. Read Greg out for me.
Read Greg.
No, I understand. It's a speed-based game.
First of all,
it's a turn-based
I don't think I think she's worse than she was. Like, I do think she's lost a little bit of value.
I would be wary of it. I understand it. I'm not like, you're nuts and mad. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not buying red stars on her anymore, but I'm still bringing her into Dark Dimension.
It's this right here, right? On death, reduce speed bar of all enemies by... I mean, that's nasty.
Okay, so let's have a different conversation. Did you know that a full Gear Tier 13, full Gear Tier 13, like just Gear Tier 13, what's that team? Pimtech can like auto every node in Dark Dimension 2?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Do you know why? Because ain't nobody doing that. Like, why would you do that? That's insane. Just use Ghost. That's the point. Like, there are you can use the entire team of Pimtech to auto Dark Dimension 2. So if you're starting the game and you're like, oh, geez, Dark Dimension 2, like, hilariously good. They're insanely good in Dark Dimension 2.
It seems like it was a catch-up team. Because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for this for Dark Dimension 4." And then I started doing the math. I'm like, "No, I want that bio gear to go somewhere else, or that tech gear. That's a lot of tech gear. I'm gonna be stuck on global before I ever get to the rest of the stuff." I'm like, "Okay, Ghost looks good. I'll go for Ghost."
Yeah.
And
But
then
that's the thing. That's a
dawned on
whole
me.
team's purpose is to be they all benefit from being in Dark Dimension, and nobody's going to bring that entire team up. You'll take like the best part of it, but you're not going to do the entire team. That's the same thing. A lot of Hela's value came from her war defense power
Yeah.
for a very long time, but she's still useful any situation you can use her in.
No, she is. She
right
is.
now, in any Mystic node in beta, like in beta raids.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But
Hela.
isn't like this new? I mean, there's a whole new batch of Mystic characters coming out that are just going to be so much past Hela.
Whom? Silver Surfer.
okay. Yeah.
We'll take him and we'll put him on the side. Whom else?
Sure. Doom.
Tech and Mystic. Sure. I can give you Doom. I don't think you're using Doom in DD4 until after you've beaten DD4. But
yeah. But I mean, I'm not talking about DD4. I'm talking about.
Okay, so scroll up. Let's
Mystic,
look at the
Mystic characters.
top,
I'm talking about
the Mystic characters. Okay, so let's see. Mystic is like the tightest pool, right? Like,
there's a lot.
Thanos is a good investment.
I'm sorry. I don't think I might have misspoke. I think I'm talking cosmic. Because I'm thinking about. I'm
specifically talking about Mystic.
I'm talking cosmic. Because Hela is cosmic, and that's where she fits on me for the harder cosmic. Not Dark Dimension. Well, Dark Dimension 5. Let's just look way into the future.
Yeah.
Is she going to hold for Dark Dimension 5? Because that's what we have to start planning for Dark Dimension 5, honestly. The way this game works.
Are you bringing Minerva into Dark Dimension 5?
I don't know. Is she Evergreen? In your opinion, I would venture to say she'll probably still be useful in Dark Dimension 5.
Minerva and Hela work very well together because of Greg's interaction.
True. Interesting. That's a good point.
And again, things can change. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen.
It's definitely something to
saying,
keep an eye on.
Since Minerva's come out, there hasn't been a Dark Dimension where we haven't been like, end Minerva. You know, like...
Yeah.
So, and now Ghost is out, and she's also tech. And there's not going to be a Dark Dimension we're going to be like, end Ghost. There's not going to be a Dark Dimension where we're not like, end Symbiote Spider-Man. You know, like...
Hela is a moot point in Dark Dimension 5 as soon as there are nodes with characters who can just block a character from summoning.
Correct.
So you got to watch for something like that. If you're like, I'm like a diehard Hela, I'm going all for it. I'm gonna main her for the rest of this game. As soon as that character comes out, that's just like, I just stop summons. You might have to rethink your plan.
Correct, but you also have to do the content right now.
Yeah, no, true.
You can't spend too much time looking at the trees. Like you have to see the forest too. You have to do both.
I don't know. And I saw the new cosmic stuff coming. Shatterstar Longshot, Silver Surfer, Doom. Doom isn't. Is Doom? He doesn't actually count as cosmic.
He's global,
so he wouldn't be part of it. He's global. Interesting.
But so here's the thing too. On the other side, sort by Mystic, because that's the gear she takes. Yes. It doesn't matter that she takes 90 of something. We're all aware that 90 skill gear is worth significantly less than 90 bio gear. Well, you know what I mean? Like right now anyway. And that stuff will change. So Hela takes 90 Mystic gear. So does Silver Surfer. Yes, Silver Surfer is a better overall use of that Mystic gear. And if you can justify putting all of that into a Silver Surfer and bringing him into Dark Dimension, then maybe that will help. You know, maybe that'll be great.
That's
I don't see a justification for Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's what I've decided to do. Is I'm going Silver Surfer at this point, which was a question that was asked by a lot of people before he came out, and I think it was answered by his price point. I did not expect him to come out for just $20, and I know we're also gonna get him for free too, with some kind of situation.
For no money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to say no money. There's a difference between for free and for no money. We're not waking up one day, logging in.
Yeah. Silver Surfer.
Like, Silver Surfer. Exactly.
You're going to have to grind through another battle pass situation. So, yeah.
So, okay, same conversation, right? Same conversation. What's going on with Thanos over there?
It's a good
Thanos looks like
question.
he's gear tier 15.
Yeah, he is. No, I've already taken him.
You've taken him up to 15?
Yeah, he's
Is that
good.
for is that for Dark Dimension, or is that because Thanos is dope?
Thanos is
We
dope.
know it's because Thanos is dope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's because Thanos is
I
dope.
bought that 7-star. Yeah, I think I bought the 6th and 7th. Yeah, it was all in.
Yeah, Thanos is dope. Thanos is evergreen. He's always gonna be good. When the Black Order
so.
falls, we're still gonna use him to give energy to.
Yeah,
Silver
I
Surfer.
use him without the Black
like,
Order all the time. Yeah, he's
So like he's still a great character. I want to put him between Silver Surfer and Black Bolt and just be like, go, like go.
Yeah, you bet.
Who's the other two characters? Healers,
Minerva
and Shuri.
There are
Figure it out.
definitely certain abilities. Anything that generates ability energy to like everybody is just ridiculous. Ridiculous kind
But
of
at
stuff.
the same time, we can all see that Star-Lord needs some help, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like Star-Lord. There was a time where anybody who spoke ill of Star-Lord would get slapped in the face by their parents. Like, no!
All right,
and now we're just like, Star-Lord? Like,
now I think we have thoroughly debunked this top 10 situation.
Jubilee's fine.
I think if there's one thing we've done is that we've proven there's a lot of old characters that belong on these top 10 lists outside of the last 10 releases, and there's a lot more to consider besides what the latest hotness is. I think we've concluded that. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap this video up? Because we could go on for days, honestly.
Yeah. Of that 10 hour video, of that top 10 list, today, if you have these characters today, specifically these characters specifically today, Jubilee and Bishop are worthwhile investments. Silver Surfer is a worthwhile investment. Night Nurse is a worthwhile investment. She's very good in the Doom raids.
I feel that.
And then I'm actually going to take a weird stance on this. I think Shatterstar is the better investment than the Long Shot.
Okay.
But that's because I think what you put into Shatterstar makes him stronger. Long Shot does require a decent amount of stars and red stars, so if you don't have them already, the damage he does, you're not going to see the difference in tier 4s or gear. You're going to see it in overall power. So like there's about 4 to 5 characters that are currently on the screen that I'm like, these characters are really good investments today. Yeah. Characters like Moon Knight and the rest of them, those are characters you can just be like, oh, I need them, and then bring them up later.
Yep.
You don't need to worry about them today. And a lot of the X Factor stuff is because the new X Factors are coming out. So like top 10 lists are fine from that perspective, but I think that there's I don't think anyone on this list is a top 10 character in the game. Maybe Silver Surfer, but it's too early to tell. But
that's a very good point, Tony. I would wait it's really, I think, dangerous to the conversation, and to say something like Silver Surfer all in right now. Don't even think about it. Like
that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, I did too. But we're at such a different point. Yeah, exactly.
But don't do it. It's stupid. Don't do it. You know,
from everything I've seen so far, like even at this kind of low level that I have him at, he's doing some really devastating things. It's pretty good. And I don't have much. I only have his basic powered up right now, and he's a pretty evil guy. He's doing good.
76K Silver Surfer.
Yeah. How's that? How is he? Is he fun?
Kinda. Like fun is weird. Fun's not the word I would use. Like I put it like I feel bad when I put him in RTA just to see what happens. I'm like, hey, sorry guys. Just put him and Zemo into RTA and then just have everyone.
RTA is just where sadness lives. Anyways, if you go to RTA, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a Silver Surfer.
It's real-time auto.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
You're either gonna get the Silver Surfer, the Zemo Phoenix, or the astonishing X-Men team that takes 65 turns before you take one.
Well, I must say, Tony, you've definitely given me a lot to think about, more than I was thinking about before I went in here. I'm glad we did the video. I'm very excited to look at my roster in a new way.
Cool.
My summary was kind of blown to pieces. A few things I think we agree on is that we're suggesting that you don't overbuild things. I definitely saw that in my own roster, and it's something that I heard you back up, is once a team is doing what you need it to do, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, stop. We seem to agree upon our hoarding practices. If you don't need it, You don't open it. I guess we're a little different on those purple orbs. So what is your strategy on the purple orb? Mine is I don't need it, so I don't open it. Yours is you need it, so you open it. I think
it's not really strategy. I just don't like to save orbs that I have stuff I need in them. Like I don't save premium orbs.
Not smart.
Because there's stuff I need in them.
Same here.
Right?
There's actually a point on these. When there's enough, I do a little math. I'll go in
70%?
here. Yeah, something like that.
Same. Okay.
Yep.
I know what you're saying before you say it.
Exactly. Well, let's explain to everybody out there. So
okay.
Can you break that down? Maybe you can say it better.
Yeah,
than I can.
when I have 70% of the characters that are currently available in premium orbs at 7-star,
yes,
I stop until that number changes. And it's usually about 2 or 3 character releases getting added to premium orbs in general. So like if I like right now I have like I don't know how many characters in the game right now, 162. Yeah. I don't have She-Hulk unlocked and I don't have Moon Knight unlocked because I hate them. So I don't have Doom. So those are 3 characters I don't have. So I have everyone else, and of them I have 12 characters that aren't 7-star.
Okay.
You know, like so whatever, I just have to wait. You know, like so if that orb isn't there, I'll just wait until more characters come in. Same thing with Ultimus Orb, same thing with every orb basically.
Yeah. The Mega Orb's some tricky math because they fudge that one.
They get better. Mega Orbs get better.
No, they do, and I
did
open them.
As good as the Mega Orb is that right now, it will also be that good next time they change a character. So they're always going to be reasonable.
They just do fun. They do funny things. If you've never looked at the Mega Orb, everybody, just kind of showing you, they hide some of the characters in the Mega Orb in like different brackets. So like I think like Zemo you won't find like in the main bracket. He's kind of like hidden. No. The one I think
the 50 drop pool is lower than the 100 drop pool.
Yeah. Like I think the one you got to look at for the Mega Orb is this you're most likely going to get from here, the 85.
Yeah.
So that's where I do my math at. I got to ignore that 10% one. And you see it's just different characters. Zemo's not there.
Yeah.
So this is that one's a tricky one to look at. You can't just look at it straight. You gotta look at that one crooked.
But it's not really the chance of it happening. It's just the chance of a character that I need. Like, it's just the characters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's
Absolutely. So it sounds like we agree upon that. Mostly, you want to hoard things. You know what I started hoarding? I don't know if you're hoarding these. Armory 14 orbs. I can't take anybody up to 15, so I don't need to open them. I have them. I don't know. I don't know why.
I actually don't know if I'm hoarding them. The thing is, I believe that the golden rule of this game is learn to love the red dot.
Yeah, you gotta get over
Once you love the red dot, once it becomes your friend, and you treat it with kindness, it will love you back.
Yeah, you gotta get
Just don't hoard stuff that has stuff you need.
Yeah, like I need 15, so I'm opening those. But I don't need 14, so I'm starting to hold them. I might crack at some point, and whenever I need 14s, I'll open them. But you never know when they're going to buff these things or when they're going to have some stupid event. How you doing on your war currency? Oh my God. Were you upset by that? Or is that just me?
I could care less.
You just
whenever they do an event that's like, hey, do this. I'm like, whatever.
All right. I mean,
no, I spend my war currency every day. Sometimes I'll keep like a bank of like a couple of thousand.
That was me. But then I went down here and, I started hoarding as soon as they announced it. And then I went down to the bottom here, and daily I drained out my Stark Tech and bought these damn war credits. So you did that?
I didn't buy the Stark Tech credits because I tend to hold on to them in case I look over and I'm like, oh, an Elite 4? Bye. You know? But,
yeah, I've given up on that. So much my roster. I mean, once again, these are like big roster problems. I've got pretty much all of my roster at 4.
Yeah.
So I don't see as much value in that as I'm going to see in this event, which I think is going to award elite orbs and such. Perhaps. Maybe. I imagine the rewards are going to be pretty good for whoever has a lot of elite war credits built up, because that is not a common thing. I don't know how awful that's going to be. We'll have to look at that when it comes out.
The game rewards hoarding.
Yeah,
and then they act shocked when people are hoarding. Yeah. Like they're like, hey, if you don't spend resources and wait, something's gonna happen that lets you spend those resources. And you're like, what? If you like for months, it was like if you hold gold orbs, you can get free character shards by spending the gold on the stuff you were going to spend it on anyway.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, cool. And then it was like, hey, we did it. We're no longer doing an orb opening event, guys. And then they released an orb opening event. They just changed orbs to cores and nothing else. So we're like, yeah, this is exactly what an orb opening event would have looked like. Yeah. But now it's cores. And there are people who are hoarding, not whales. People who, like, there are people with 20,000 cores who are like free to play players because there's nothing to spend it on.
Just hold it.
So they're like, cool, I guess I'll just spend this. Yeah.
Yep. You bet.
The game rewards hoarding.
My whole alliance went through that core event free to play. Nobody bought cores for it. We all had the cores. Yeah. We all did like 700 a day. It was done.
I bought an offer that had cores in it. It was unrelated. Did that count? I was like, oh, this offer looks nice. And it gave me like 450 cores. I was like, cool, thank you.
I mean, I did the battle pass. I didn't need it. I had, I think I had 5,000 going in, and now I'm at 3,000. I think it's like the same difference. So,
oh yeah. Whatever. Some days I'll look and I have like 400 cores, and other days I'll look and I have 2,000, and I don't know what happens between the two. I didn't buy any. Like,
yeah. Don't.
Oh, I know what happened. The campaign event ended.
There you go.
That's what happened.
That changes the math
I can't
a lot.
Use them.
Yeah,
there should always be a campaign on. Always.
That would
always,
be nice.
Always.
That would be nice.
When a campaign ends, they should just put an old one back and let new players have a shot at it. If they want to spend their cores on those orbs, they're welcome to. That's just, they already did the work for it. Just put them back in. What's the worst that could happen?
You know what I don't do? I don't do traditional top 10 lists, and I don't usually talk about how to fix the game because I don't think they'll ever do any of the reasonable things that anyone has ever suggested. I don't even know. I don't think it's like if you suggest something reasonable, it's a good chance. There's no way it's ever happening. It's like it's reasonable. It's not going to happen.
I made a recent suggestion to increase the amount of times the ability material thing comes back. What's it called? The ability, the city ability material event.
Yeah, no, T4s is a huge crunch. I made a suggestion
saying make it monthly. Yeah. So let's see if they make it monthly in the next month or two. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Sure.
Because I think that the artificial cap on tier 4s needs to be removed. We're getting more. Does. But I think we need to get more. Not just for the top players. Like, I don't care about us. I really don't. I have enough tier 4s. I was able to tier 4 all of Silver Surfer. And I still have like 600.
You're hoarding them up. You're being cautious.
I'm not hoarding them. I'm just using them on characters that need them.
Did you dump them into Shadowlands like I did, like an idiot?
I don't have Moon Knight unlocked, sir.
There you go. I actually stopped. I was about to put T4s on Moon Knight, and then I was like, uh-oh, they just sold me Silver Surfer. Stop.
I did put a couple tier 4s in Shadowlands.
Yeah,
but like 2 or 3.
Then they sold me Silver Surfer, and I had to stop.
Yeah,
I mean, the discrepancy here, I'm showing the discrepancy. It's really ridiculous. So the top of the game, rank 1, right, is pulling in 400 of these T4s, and they've been doing that for ages. And anyone, like a reasonable, I'm not even talking like a reasonable level player. The top 100 gets 200. It's cut in half for most of like 1%. The top players. And like less than the 1%. The 1%'s getting 180. We're down here.
So 20 more.
The top 25 is at 100. That's crazy.
That's twice a month.
That's harsh.
I agree. I think they need to up the numbers, but this whatever. Like
really low.
Like I don't think that you should be able to work on every character the second you get them all the time always. No. But I do think that there is a point when you shouldn't feel like you're wasting resources.
Well, look at what they're doing.
To work on characters you like.
You know what they're doing.
Not even to work on characters you need to.
You know what they're doing with the kits too, right? You've seen this madness.
Where they're gating the good abilities behind tier 4s.
Yeah, the functionality, the pure functionality of the role. Like I think this is the best example that's been out for a bit. Level 7, I can't apply. Level 4, his counter applies to all defenders. They bring him in now. Now you got a T4 as level 7 because they know you haven't, and now it applies to all the Shadowland allies. Punisher's the other one. The 2 tier 4s that make Punisher great on the defenders. Ouch.
Which is a ridiculous statement. Those 2 tier 4s do not make Punisher great on Skilletary.
Yep.
Which is also funny because
they know
Punisher is not great on Skilletary. But and that's fine. Like, it's cool to do that to make us invest in them, but at the same point, like, it's kind of not for me. Again, for me, don't care. I will put in the character if I need to. I'm not complaining. But I think that for a lot of players, it's like, I want to work on the skill. I want to work on this new team, but I don't have the tier 4s. And the reason why you don't have the tier 4s is because you're only winning 3 fights every war because you're, because you don't know how to beat the teams.
Winning or losing doesn't matter with your T4s in war. I mean, it matters for the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about for the season.
Yeah, but win or lose, you get the same T4s. Just move up in alliances, you get more T4s.
Yeah, if it was that easy. Dude, their alliance is falling apart right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother topic. We'll have to do another video real soon. Did you want to hang out for a stream afterwards, or do you got to take off?
I might hang out, but I wouldn't be a part of the stream. I would just be in chat.
Okay, cool.
This giant sandwich I got to eat.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you hang out in chat. Let's wrap this up. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up about, top 10 lists in general, hoarding strategies, great characters?
Nope, I appreciate you hanging out. You're fun to hang out with and talk to, especially about this kind of stuff.
Excellent. Awesome, sir. Well, thank you all so much for watching. It has been a pleasure having you here as well. Let me know down in the comments. Say hi to Tony for me. Make sure we make him feel welcome down there. And what do you think? You want to have me on your show sometime there, Tony?
Oh, absolutely. Whatever.
Awesome.
We can do whatever.
Awesome. Sounds good.
I'm quick at videos.
Sounds good. All right, Tony, have a good night. And everybody, thanks for showing up. Sorry we didn't get to talk to you too much down there. I was just having too much fun talking to Tony. I don't get to see him too much. New Jersey guy like me, right, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. See?
Dirty Jersey.
What exit you off?
63.
There you go.
163.
I think I'm exit 9 over here.
Yes. All right,
everybody. Thanks for joining. That's Mr. Hartgrave. Hail Hartgrave. Hail Tony. Good night.